So zone 2 is also like an application I think is interesting, is like zone 2 is the practice of all the stuff that all the benefits you get from intensity. So it's like, if you want to go long distance, if I want to go on a 4-hour run, for example, then I will do zone 2. Like, it will be dictated by how long I want to. Yeah. So, that in that case, I'm not necessarily, my mindset isn't like, oh, I'm training right now. It's like, I'm going for a 4-hour run, and by virtue of that, then I'm in zone 2. Because we know that you can, if you're at 90% of your lactate threshold, which is like a perfect zone 2, you will fatigue at around 4 hours. Like, if you weren't to fuel, if you just drank water, you can last 4 hours. If you're above that, you'll last around 40 to 60 minutes. And then, anything above that is minutes. But, so I think of zone 2 as almost like the practice of all those adaptations you promoted by training above zone 2. And that's another thing too, is like, so we think of zone 2 as like, oh, you have to build this aerobic base by accumulating lots of volume below your lactate threshold to like push your lactate threshold up, push your ceiling up, build that a base so that you can sustain high intensity. But again, I'll come back to it. Like, most of the evidence would support that you build the base by by exercising above it and pulling it up, not by training below and pushing it up.
Is there any argument for both mechanisms though, like pushing up and pulling up?
Yeah, and I want to also disclaim that, like, we looked at specifically mitochondria and fat oxidation. So they're like, especially with running, there could very well be like biomechanical adaptations that we get from these like long duration, slower
tissue adaptations, gut training for carbohydrate intake, etc.
Yeah, exactly. But for like, when we think of like an aerobic base, like, there's no definition for that, so I don't really actually know what it means. But I would think of like VO2 max is a pretty good component of an aerobic base, which we know intensity is a good potent stimulus for improving. And then we also have evidence for the more trained you are, the more requiring intensity to increase your lactate threshold, which, if you think of that as the ceiling of your aerobic base, then intensity seems important for that as well. It's interesting. But like for running, I do think that there could be like benefits that I have not looked at, or that we don't even have research for, that runners are benefiting from these long, slow distances. And maybe it is just practice. Like, it is just that you're going through the motions, that's like your game simulation.
Yeah. It's tricky, I think, if I pull it to just a running lens, and I want to be respectful that I'm doing that, not you as an application perspective. But if we look at running like through the history from like the 1930s, 1940s all the way to today, the darkest periods in Olympic medal count for endurance athletes in the West, say Canada, US, European, has been the times where we've done lower volume, higher intensity.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm pulling from a performance metric, so I want to be clear. Like, I'm putting that argument forward, not you. What do you think that means? And I, again, fully respect that yours was health and fitness, but as we're going about this argument for benefit for training and such, what do you think of that kind of historical interpretation?